Yo, 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 yo. How y'all doing? Wait, what? It has indeed. What's poppin'? How y'all doing? Wait, let me get the chat up. Here it is.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, that's far. So here. Let me put it up here. Yo, how's everyone doing? Just wait for a few more people to get in. Blah,
well,
blah. Yo, wait. Alright, let's go. Let's, let's start. We can just start with any other old video, but I just started a channel on the Discord called wait, who's performing right now? Oh, Future. Oh shit. But I'm gonna get copyright strike like death. Um, not trying to. Yeah, no. But yeah, I started a Discord channel where you guys can submit videos, like any kind of just like try not to laugh kind of videos, just memes, all that shit. Send them there. Songs you want me to react to, anything, just send them there. Let's let's go. What's something that's good for stream? Okay, let's do some 981. I know, not full screen.
yeah.
Let me get chat up. Who's the guy in the back? This is my friend DJ
I'm DJ. Nice to meet you.
from San Antonio, Texas.
Yep.
If you don't mind me saying that. San Antonio, it's a big city. What are they gonna do? Yeah. How's your life been since you learned? Oh yeah, this you motherfucker. How's your life been since you learned you have autism?
Me?
Me. No, they're talking
Oh.
to me. How's your life been? It's been pretty retarded. I think it's been pretty retarded. Equally as autistic as my life has before it. Hasn't no more or less, just equally.
Nothing has changed.
Yeah. Yeah, he could vouch for me. All right. Wait, where I'm trying to see what highway this is. I think this is like 287 or 87 upstate. Up around like Tarrytownish. Hey bro, you lol. Hey bro, you lol great. Yo, Tony, what's up? What you mean by that though?
Oh, Mustang.
Oh, possible. You look great. Hey, I appreciate you. Appreciate it. Yo, my name's Jimmy Jean. Work, work, breathe, breathe. Oh, believe. Walking, dreaming. I'm up in need. Walking, work, steaming. Pretty calm. You know what? How about let's react to a Doug video? How about that? I feel like that'll be more interesting because we'll have shit to say about that too. Let's go.
I would talk about the mock. I mean the EV Dodge.
Oh, I don't think he's reviewed that yet. Oh, once he reviews that though. What do you have to say about that though? What are your thoughts on that?
I I see what they're trying to do,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, you can't take away the most known vehicle that you have and make it an EV.
Exactly. Like especially like not even. I mean, at least it's not exclusively an EV.
No, they still have their gas model.
Yeah, like it, but it's a six cylinder. It's not even a V8.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, Mustang, like it's not like because they can't. I mean, because Ford is still making it the Mustang GT, which has a V8,
yeah.
which just came
And they
out.
have
It's a new model
they
too.
have the Mach-E
You have
as,
the Mach-E. I mean,
but
that's
that's
not.
its own separate thing.
Yeah.
They could continue doing their regular Dodge vehicles, but doing the EV ones as a separate
Mm-hmm.
thing. But
Mm-hmm.
the way that they're deciding to do it
Right.
is like, okay, we have we have the same car, but one with an engine and one that's battery powered
Right. Yeah. I think if they're gonna
But
do that, I think that's better than at least making it exclusively EV because that's what people believe for a long time, and it was clear as day that they'd alienate a
yeah,
hell of a lot of
they
people. Like,
yeah, they would take away
yeah,
their biggest seller.
yeah, because a lot of people are there for like the Hemi, the V8, the big vroom vroom, the big boy vroom vrooms. And if they can't vroom vroom their Dodge anymore, the Dodge doesn't
It
even
becomes
make any
point.
noise.
Yeah, it becomes useless.
They ain't a Dodge. They ain't. Imagine an SRT that goes. I
Mm.
mean, it's supposed to go in combination with an engine sound. That's a Hellcat.
But it's all
You fuck with takeovers? Nah. I'm not a fan of takeovers. I think nah. Cutting up is okay. It's I'm have split opinions on cutting up. No pun intended. What Squeeze Benz does, if y'all see him on like Instagram and shit, Squeeze Benz is a fucking maniac. He's
yes.
absolutely just beyond insane. Bro was like drifting through like Times Square up 8th Avenue. There were pedestrians. Like he was avoiding them, but like I think there was some luck. There was luck involved, and when luck is at play with other people's lives, that's just fucked. That's just fucked. And the thing is, like with Where's 981 and those guys, I'm more okay with that. I fuck with that more because you can really tell like especially like 981, like BreQ50 made like BreQ50, Float 8X, probably like Stolen F80, those guys. Um, maybe Shan, and like it's clear that they care more about like they're more safe. Like they're not like squeeze bands that just go for like every fucking like white line and clout cut and shoulder cut that they can. They just go like they're driving, but they're driving fast, and when they see a cut, they take it. But they're not like they'll wait a bit or just take like a wider cut instead of just like taking like an unnecessary like tight cut just for the sake of taking a tight cut, which is what a lot of people do just for like clout. And that's why I call them clout cuts because that's really what they are. They're clout cuts. Like you're taking like you don't need to. Like you can probably like the third like another lane's probably open, yet you decide to make like do this fucking unnecessary white line. Like we see it in a bunch of videos.
Yeah.
Like that shit
There are
I don't
some cuts
like.
that shouldn't have ever been made, but yeah,
Yeah.
they took the risk and did that.
Exactly, yeah. But like takeovers, I'm not a fan of them just because like bad shit always tends to happen at them. Like I feel like they're just a recipe for disaster because just because of how reckless people are. Them people hanging out the fucking sunroof,
Oh
people,
yeah,
all that shit. I'm just
I
like,
think you saw some people do that, right?
a lot of people do that.
Yeah. No, I'm saying you when you were driving. You said you
I
saw
never
some.
had takeover.
No, I'm talking about people hanging out the window.
Oh yeah, on the expressway. Yeah, on the highway. I saw. Wait, hold on. Let me get this video up. Both suck, and yeah, no, I totally see that perspective. Like that on about cutting up. Like that's a very much, not just my personal opinion. Like I could totally see the other side of that argument. I can completely understand saying that I don't put like not fucking up cutting up at all. I completely understand that. And like outside of New York City, I really don't do it. I like to just drive fast. But if people get out of the left lane and everything, I'm not gonna cut up. I don't have any reason to. It's really just because also like a lot of New Yorkers are fucking stupid, especially on the road. Like they just don't know how to drive. You could definitely confirm this too. Like they especially with like lanes, they every lane is the same. Road is road. Like people drive the same speed in the left lane as the middle lane and the right lane. So a lot of times the right lane is the passing lane, which is just like it's ridiculous. But anyway, let me find this video. What was I finding?
Uh, the ones hanging up the car
Yeah.
window.
Oh yeah. Right. Thanks. Hold up, y'all. Hold up, y'all.
I'm not.
Now it was a minute ago, but I thought I saved it again because recently like rewatched it, so I thought I saved it again. Hold on, I think it's somewhere here. Just give me another minute, y'all. No, that's definitely not it. That's not it either. That's definitely not it. Nope, nope, no,
It was at
no.
night.
Okay, I'm just gonna look for another like few seconds and then if I
We'll find it later. Put it in the chat.
can.
Not
Yeah,
the chat,
no
but
luck.
on the
Yeah.
Discord.
Yeah. But do you know about collector car feed? No, what's that? Do you know about that? Yeah. Yeah, I've never heard of it. Yeah. Let us know. Let's see a Doug video we can react to. Funny podcast. Oh, word. What's it about? I mean, well, collector cars. Collector cars. I'm fucking stupid. That's the autism part. That's the autism part. I mean, well, autism doesn't necessarily make you
That's just
stupid.
you.
That's just me being fucking stupid.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah,
you.
that's not
That's you not connecting.
that's
the
not
dots.
retardation. That's retardation in terms of being fucking stupid, which I have in addition to also mental illness. I have both. I have stupidity and mental illness. The
You're
best
Prius.
combo. Let's do.
Just saw the Prius.
You know what? I kind of want to see the Miata one. You go with that?
The what?
Miata one?
Yeah.
I bet.
The chat.
Oh yeah. How's school going, bro? It's going pretty well, thanks. Shitting on Facebook Marketplace cars. Oh, that sounds fun. And cease. YouTube poop idea. I'm going to go to the club and get bitches. Cars and bids. Oh, speaking of buying, and y'all might have seen. I forgot if I posted about it or not. I might have not, but we are finally selling the Versa. It was actually already supposed to be sold as of today. We're selling it to Carvana. Say what you want, but we got just like a straight up 5K. We're getting 5K for it, which I think is fine. Like it has a bit over 90K miles on it. It's in good shape. Like it's held up. It's been driven very lightly. um not but the transmission still, like, we've never had to do any work to the transmission at all, and we bought it at like 40 something K miles on a Nissan Versa with a Nissan CVT. Never had to do any work with the transmission, never had any like real issues. And other, like, everything else is checked out. We just got like new shocks, new all that. I mean, we got a new cabin air filter, but we haven't put it in, but that's, I could do that in 10 minutes. But yeah, like, it's fine. It's a good car. Selling it for 5K, but I mean, shit, if any of y'all in the New York area want to pick it up like tomorrow or some shit and got a better offer, let me know. I mean, yeah. We saw you cutting up with the first SMH. Okay. Hey, look. Hey, look, mate, look. A lot of people who don't cut up in their Nissan Versas, what happens? Like a lot, because you say a lot of Nissan Versas like break down, have their transmissions break, right? And let's say most people also don't cut up. That means that could mean that most people who don't, those people who don't cut up have their transmissions break. So it's the people who do cut up that have their transmissions work. So that's why I cut up. That's the explanation.
That's your explanation.
Yep, that's what I'll tell the cops. It's like, don't worry, guys. I'm just trying to preserve the life of my car. I love those. These lights. Martha's Vineyard license plate. Zoom, zoom. I think. Oh yeah, we drove this one. Yeah, we drove this. This is the one that we rented. The one that we rented in California, like in LA, when we went there for VidCon, back in like 2019. We rented. It was a blue. It was like a dark blue Miata. I think it's just the same one as this. I think it was the base model. Was it? I think it was the facelift because it was like, yeah, it was after 2009, so definitely with the facelift. Yeah, 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 it was this one. It was this one. It was this one. I mean, it wasn't modded. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it didn't. Yeah. I think it looks alright. Don't forget the service transmission. Yeah, no, I have made sure to get transmission fluid in interchanges. I have done that. Whenever I get an oil change, I ask them to do a full fluid change, transmission fluid and everything. Fuel economy, like 30, 35. Am I retarded? Is there no audio? Is there no audio? Is there no audio? Are you guys not hearing anything? Fuck. Are y'all not hearing anything from the video? Fuck.
From the video, there's no
yeah,
audio.
I gotta
Is there
figure this out.
audio from us?
Yeah, I mean, they're responding to us, so... So what I gotta do is just audio input capture. Okay, let me figure this out. Technical difficulties. Wait, no, that's not it. Oh, that's why. That's why. Here we go. Okay. Let's see if we can hear it. Let's see if y'all can hear it now. Hello.
Cartoonish even before the
Can y'all hear it now?
The general look, the flared wheel arches.
I noticed the problem, so hopefully that fixes it.
It wasn't tremendously well received, and even less so when the smile showed up. And then there was.
Oh wait, I want to see what y'all said in chat. I can hear you. My Geo.
Audio is
Hell yeah, let's go. My GeoLi gets 25 miles per gallon. I cruise at 110 every time on the highway. Hell yeah. Wait, what? You don't have to be too specific. Don't worry. But if you, I'm just out of curiosity. What state you live in? Because I want to see like what highway I could possibly do that on. Allegedly.
Wait, the NC
I mean, shit, I was cruising at
made
100 on like Texas 130 and on the Garden State Parkway.
Around 2,600 pounds, which seems tremendously light because it is. But by Miata standards, it was a pretty heavy car. The earlier Miatas had weighed about 2,200 pounds, so this had gained weight. It was big and bulky compared to other Miatas. Even though 2,500 pounds is pretty light, that was another criticism of the NC. Now, the reason this car gained that weight is it became, let's call it a little bit more of a legitimate car. It was a little larger, it added more interior space, more safety features, more general convenience equipment compared to the earlier Miatas.
Like, it was car-like enough, but it was also like definitely bare bones, but in a good way. In a good way.
It's a small
thankfully,
yeah,
NC
we were still able to like
had
put
a
up the
pretty
hood just by like the roof by just going like.
For their great increase in curb weight.
It's even easier in the new one though, because like this one you have to kind of.
They had more power than earlier Miatas.
In the new one you could just go like.
NCs sold here in North America had a 2-liter 4-cylinder, as you can see here. Still a pretty small engine, but bigger than what it had before. About 170 horsepower, which was a relatively healthy number.
That's a lot of room for a swap.
Now, I mentioned all the NCs in North America had this engine because overseas, Mazda also offered the NC with a 1.8-liter 4-cylinder that made about
I don't know what you could add there, but you could definitely
and that engine was generally criticized for just being a little too slow for the NC's great heft. Okay, that's kind of ridiculous, but it was a little overmatched by this car. Thankfully, this engine was in all the US models. And this particular NC is especially desirable for its sportiness because it's
oh, word, okay, that's not that far from here. Delaware, 95 going towards Philadelphia, 495 specifically if you don't see any law enforcement. Word.
Trim level, which
that's good to know about some 95.
Desirable sporty upgrades.
I might be around like
a
Delaware area,
differential, which was a nice
like 95.
Also, sports suspension with Bilstein dampers, which was another improvement. These club models also had larger wheels, which was nice, and they had front and rear splitters. Front splitter you can see here, and rear splitter here. All big upgrades compared to the standard NC, which makes the club particularly desirable. And there were quite a few nice cosmetic touches too. For example, those larger wheels were painted this dark gray black. That was special to the club versions. They also had black mirror caps, as you can see, and black headlights. Well, not the headlight itself, but the surrounding part was black, which added to the cool look on the outside.
Hold on, wait, did I miss something? Did he say this is part of like a pack?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Front fenders
No, because I was going to say the one that we had
and
definitely did not have any of these
club,
buckets.
like the
Okay.
Super
Oh, right.
playing
It's a club
cards,
tech, right?
which added to the coolness factor of this special Miata. Inside, there were some
Got
upgrades
you, okay.
too. Red dashboard trim, as you can see, to match the exterior color of the car. Whatever color you got, that was the color of your dash, which is a pretty pronounced change over a standard black plastic one.
Do y'all remember what year he said it is? I don't want to go back all the way
to
back.
emphasize the sportiness.
But
like I mentioned,
you know
the
what?
Club
Wait,
is the
what are
most
we at right
desirable
now? Like
NC model, and it's rare.
617.
This is a 2014.
2014. That's about. I think we rented like a 2015 or something, maybe even 2014.
Emphasize the sportiness. Like I mentioned, the Club is the most desirable NC model, and it's rare since it came out near the very end of production after the Subaru BRZ was already on sale. This
Aaron
thing was
said
getting
something.
old.
Aaron. Also, I think I told you about Aaron. I've known him since I've known him through the channel, been a mod for a while, for years. Aaron, you said, "Oh, Emery, you won't believe who's gonna go see Journey and Toto in concert with me here in Lubbock." It's a former mod. Oh, that's fucking dope.
Oh, shit.
That's fucking dope. Hell yeah. Nah, have fun, bro. Hell yeah. I'm glad I'm making friendships through that. Hell yeah. No, that's dope. Well, somebody else told me about somebody else who they met like through my server, and they're like best friends now.
And pretty desirable.
Yeah.
Now, the other interesting, notable thing about the NC Miata was the roof situation. You'll notice a hardtop here. Now, a lot of people know the newest Miata, the ND, is offered with a hardtop. It's called the Miata RF, and it has this cool trick folding top.
I don't like the hardtop is cool. Only thing is, if I want a Miata, if I have a Miata, hey, first of all, I want to be able to just like put the roof. One of the things about the Miata is I like the soft top because you could just like put it down, put it up in like a second, and like just like with one hand, just super easy. Like you want to put the roof up for a minute, like you feel like a little drop of rain. Oh, you just put it up. Like you want to avoid someone, just put it up. You don't have to wait for it to go up, or you want to put it down real quick. Just
No, I've had a car with a convertible roof, and it was fabric instead of a hardtop.
I mean, it's different if it's a big car. If it's like a 4-seater.
Regardless of the fact, the roofs always get tears and leaks.
Oh,
That's a huge issue. With any car with a soft top, is going to tear and leak. A hard top is kind of
flex tape.
That's still
Stops any leaks.
Flex tape doesn't do anything.
It stops any leak. Don't disrespect Phil Swift like that. Also, that's a good Doug face.
No, the NC.
So it's annoying me that panel gap doesn't line up. That's fucking annoying me. That's annoying me a lot. I hate that.
Miata offered something similar. Like I said earlier, this car came out for 2006, and at that time it was only offered with a soft top. But for 2007, Mazda started offering a power convertible.
Even with like the new RF,
PRHT,
I want to see how this looks with it down.
Power retractable hardtop. Not exactly very.
Because there's one thing, like I would be okay with a hardtop if it did, if it didn't have like one thing that the new Miata hardtop has.
So the hardtop didn't rob you of any extra storage space. You still had the same. The PRHT also made the car a lot quieter at highway speeds when it was in place. You were driving along on the freeway, really you didn't hear as much going on with the hardtop. And it went up and down pretty quickly in just 12 seconds, as I'll show you in a bit, up and down. So it moved
average. Yeah, I mean, I've driven a few convertible cars. Like I've driven.
Then, not much.
I drove the soft top of this Miata, but I also drove a. I didn't drive it. It was
benefits
years before I had my license. It was in Florida. We rented a Mustang.
Next up, let's climb into the NC
like the
Miata
most current Mustang of that year, I think. It was like a 2016, 2017 EcoBoost.
Well, actually, I'll start
it was a convertible. I think it went down at like.
The radio display gives you a little welcome message. It says, "Hello," with an exclamation mark. Kind of welcoming you to the car. I'm not sure why it does that, but it's a
hope you can customize that message. That'd be funny as hell if you can customize that message.
At the top of this center control stack that has the radio on it, you can see two buttons. One, the car and a roof and an arrow, and the other, the car and a roof down and the arrow going the other direction. Of course, this is how you operate the roof. To start the process, you unlatch the roof manually on the ceiling. You pull this down, and then a little red warning light comes on at the top of the center
the exact same latch that they have in the soft top version.
And then
because I remember this. It's because we had the same, like, it was the same model, your same soft top, but with the soft top. Exact, like, latch looked damn near identical.
You know that this process has been started, and the
I don't, well, now because it was all manual. So
you push the roof button and you watch it go down, and you can see the power retractable hardtop retracting in the NC Miata.
Oh, okay. I like this a lot more. No, I like this a lot more than the new hardtops, because the new hardtops, like, you'll see it in a minute, like, or I don't know if you'll see it, but wait, let me pull it up. The RF, right? I'm too lazy. Let's see. Miata RF top down. Yeah, so, like, see, even here, this shit's gonna fucking load. Okay, you know what? Fuck's sake. I'm just gonna zoom in here. Y'all can see. This, yeah, I don't like this. I don't like that there's still, like, I mean, I get that, I get this for aero, but, like, still, when I'm driving a convertible, I want it to be, like, real, like, open air.
Yeah.
I don't want to have, like, all this shit in my way. Like, I want it to be a full-on convertible. I feel like I'm getting robbed of that, especially since the regular Miata does have that space. I feel like, oh, I'm getting cheated out of that. I like that this doesn't have that.
Up the same space as the soft top in the NC, so there's no penalty. Then, by the way, one other little benefit of the PRHP
What's your opinion on the Cybertruck?
in the NC?
Yeah, he hates it. I ain't gonna lie, I kind of like it. I like it. Yeah. I think it's just, I don't think that it looks amazing or anything. I just think it's different, but kind of cool.
Many issues.
I think it's so different that it's kind of cool. I mean, some of the issues have been really overblown. Some of them are valid.
Literally slice off your fingers.
Yeah, if you're an idiot, just don't put your finger in with the trunk. I mean, yeah, like, that is an issue for other customers. But as long as I don't put my fingers in my own trunk, then I'm fine.
But here's the thing:
it's an issue for everyone else. So I think they should fix it.
It's a common thing that you may think it may not happen.
Yeah.
But it happens. Someone not paying any attention.
I guess, like, someone else using my car or something, right?
Like talking to someone, and then you place your fingers.
I'd never rest my hand even on my own car.
On your own car?
Yeah, on, like, under the trunk like that. Like, while it's closing?
Or just leaning on the trunk of your car?
Not while it's closing, no. I mean, I think it is. It's still a very big issue.
That one is an SUV that's automated that closes.
What is?
The Cybertruck.
Cybertruck isn't an SUV, it's a truck.
I mean,
yeah.
It looks like a fucking SUV.
Loki does. Wait, okay, let's see what the chat says. Oh, wait, I missed some. Oh, Emery. Oh, Jeffrey, no fucking way! He's another, like, longtime mod. Who's the other buddy there in stream? I don't believe I've seen him. This is DJ. I think you've been on a couple times before, but you might have not been here. Yeah, you'll probably see him a lot more. Yeah, you do your own thing on YouTube too, but
I haven't posted.
Not fair. Maybe in the future.
Yeah. I mean, I have my camera.
Yeah. Yeah, we could do shit with your camera too, if you're down.
I've been taking pictures mostly.
Oh, yeah. Wait, let's see what chat says about the Cybertruck. They're only sold in Cali and Texas right now. Pictures, videos don't do it justice. We have seen it in person at the
Tesla.
Yeah, there's, like, a showroom in like a down, like, 14th Street, like, meatpacking district in the city.
But we can't enter it because
they
haven't permitted that yet.
Exactly. No, we saw it from the outside though, and yeah. Wait till you see it on the road. Yeah, no, it will look. It's gonna look even crazier on the road for sure. Like, next to other cars, that's gonna look wild. Tyler Hoover's divorce. I did not hear about that, but I don't have any opinions on it. I mean, if that's Tyler, car YouTuber, like, he's worked with Doug DeMuro. I mean, I hope you know, if that's his. I mean, that's just his business. That's really just the business of him and his, I guess, now ex-wife, not mine. Hope they find an amicable decision. Leave it at that. I've love-hate relationship. I think the concept is there, but it just wasn't executed as well as probably could have been.
Okay.
I agree and disagree, but reason why I disagree is because I feel like, I mean, the concept itself, what more could they really have done with it, though? Genuine question. Oh, he got remarried recently.
I mean,
congrats.
He could have still made it look like a truck, but have it his own form of way and concept. Because there
it's kind of boring though.
There are EV trucks out there. Because look at Rivian, look at
they're
Ford.
boring.
Yeah, but I'm saying he still could have made it his own way.
Right, but it's a bit more normal.
But no, he could have made it a lot better, but a different vision.
Yeah,
he made it look like a kid practically drew out lines.
Yeah.
Like
he could have made it like
a drawing formed into a real-time vehicle.
He could have made one that's more like Hummer-like, that's still boxy. Make one that's still boxy. Let's say like a Hummer model, but like it could still be super boxy, made out of aluminum, not aluminum, like stainless steel, and all that, but still like be more like a regular truck, I guess. To your point, right?
Well, yeah, but he could have made it his design, make it more. Because with Tesla, there's no other car than a Tesla. When you look at it, when you see a Tesla, that's a Tesla.
Yeah.
Because the way it's built, the shape, the quality, and
okay. Panel gaps.
But the Cybertruck, I know he was trying to make it out.
Sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. He was trying to make it different and new and like be like authentic.
Be Elon Musk.
Yeah, but the way he executed it, it didn't do well.
Elon moment.
Tesla.
That's just like just about everything. Teslas don't sell well out here in Texas. I mean, you're from Texas, so I mean, he's from Lubbock.
I'm from San Antonio.
Wait, are you from Lubbock or are you from Katy? Because I know you said you spent time in Katy. Teslas don't. If you're comfortable talking about that, of course. At least not on my part. I wouldn't even buy one here either. A pretty inconvenient vehicle to own for most people like me. Now I could see that, especially like Lubbock, because I mean things are sprawled in Texas, but also like near Lubbock. Like if you want to get to another city, it's a long distance, and I also know that that region of the country probably has some of the worst EV infrastructure. So like traveling long distance might just not even be feasible, or even just like if it's almost feasible, you don't want to have like that range anxiety, because what if you need to go off route for a little bit to get some food, get some like just like go to the bathroom or something, like, and you end up adding a few more miles to your trip, or some other like there's stronger wind and you add more miles to your trip than you planned.
Yeah.
Like, or a sharper grade or anything like that. Pretty common in Austin though. Shocker.
Yeah, it's a
shocker. Fuck it. It should just be called Austin, California at this point.
No, Austin is Austin.
Austin AU for Austin.
Austin is the capital.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not from Texas, so from New York. But I mean, I feel like even though you're from Texas, you have a lot of Texan in you, but you also have a whole lot of New Yorker in you. I notice. Just the ability to walk. I mean, one big thing that shows you you're a New Yorker is the ability to like walk down the street, see something crazy happen, and just not give a flying fuck. If I see that, I know you're a real New Yorker. Nah, and you definitely do that.
I mean, I do have family. That and plus, that's just my personality.
Yeah, and other reasons why you spent time here.
With...
The new Model 3, I like it.
I've seen one actually earlier today.
Yeah, we saw one.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah, but I will say the same thing about the Mesla Toddle. I almost said Mesla Toddle sex. The Tesla Model S. Wow. My thing about like the new Model S and the new Model 3 is like I don't like the removal of stalks. I don't like that. Like I like how I want to be able to have, even if it's not like the gear changing stalk, I want to be able to have like turn signal stalk.
Instead of
like windshield wipers. Okay, because I mean I know some companies. I mean I think I've seen some that have like a little have like a little knob or something for them, for the wipers. But like I've never seen any. I mean like so the wipers okay, transmission okay. I much prefer something physical, but at least they have like the PR and D on the top. But like
that can get confusing.
Yeah, but I mean like once you know, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you know, PR, like to a new driver, you just say, oh, you could just tap the top or use the screen.
I need a physical.
Now, I much prefer that, but like.
Because I was looking at new cars, like for myself, and I was looking at Acuras, but then I saw that the Acuras all have buttons. And I was like,
here, but We just take our earbuds out for now. I mean, we're not. Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I feel you. Wait, let me switch OBS. Yeah, wait, let me read. Free comment. I'm just from Texas in general. I moved around a little bit. Fair enough. Primarily in Katy and the DFW area. I moved to Lubbock in 2020 though. Got you. My family still lives in Katy, which is why I drive down there frequently. If you're wondering about why I go there. Got you. Okay. Yeah, I've been to the Katy Buc-ee's. I think either twice or 3 times now. Because I've been there. I was there when we were there. Yeah, no, because I was there the first time I went. No, because I went twice when I was there the first time I went to Houston. So, yeah, I went there twice. So yeah, and then the third time was when we went there because I flew into Houston.
Mm-hmm.
We drove. Thank you very much for driving all the way from San Antonio to Houston to pick me up. I appreciate that a lot. Still.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, I drove in his car back. But the whole point was we were trying to get his car back from San Antonio to New York. And so I was gonna we split the drive back from San Antonio to New York. That's a story. I mean, we could start it.
Very long story.
Yeah, I mean, we have time. So we'd start so our plan was to leave ideally leave early on the first day, and get into Atlanta, that night. And like from San Antonio to Atlanta, which is like 12 hours ish. We'd split the drive by about like 6 hours each. You did the first half, I did the second half.
Yeah, I think.
And like.
No, we did 8.
Yeah, 8. Yeah, 8. Right. Yeah, 8. Damn.
Because I drove.
Jesus Christ.
I drove out, and when we got to Alabama, that's when we switched. So that was about 8 hours.
Jesus, yeah.
And then we got to. You drove the rest of Alabama.
Yeah. Like, yeah, no. It was like by the time we switched off, it was already because we left kind of late. Just shit happens. And just I forgot what happened. Honestly, I don't
go late.
Yeah, that. Well, that also you want to do. You didn't wake me up. And to be fair, I thought you were gonna wake me up. I thought you were gonna wake me up.
I went out and did errands.
Okay. But Aaron said W Fred. And what was it? Oh yeah, my drive. Yeah, my half of the drive going to Atlanta. Oh my God. Yeah, because I started around like 11 p.m. We went to like a Waffle House and a McDonald's, just like in wherever the middle of nowhere, Louisiana. Couldn't tell you where. Somewhere along I-10, I think. Near Baton Rouge-ish. We switched off there. Yeah, it was already like 11, like damn near midnight, and I still had like 6 to 8 hours to drive left to Atlanta. And I was like, fuck. Like I had enough energy, kinda, but I was still kinda tired. So I'm not gonna talk about it on stream. Did things that would make sure I would stay awake. Not things like that. Don't worry. No things like that. Don't worry. Legal things. I did legal things. Just more than I should have of the legal things. Because in my mind, I'd rather take that possible risk of hurting myself, because that would keep me awake, because I knew that would keep me awake, and like there's not around, like, I mean, I was fine driving, but like not a lot of other cars on the road until we got to Atlanta. But like I was like, I'd rather take this risk to myself than crash the car and kill us both. Like, I was like, that's the point I was at. But then once we left Atlanta, it was your turn to have the hellish drive, because we luckily, when we were going back, we didn't all go all the way back to the city, which was our original plan, because my mom, thank fuck she got this, like, thank you to her. Yeah, she got us at a hotel in Charlottesville, Virginia on our way back. Yeah, you took the drive to Charlottesville. I
will admit the road was curving. I thought it was still going straight. I would have literally hit the railing.
That, actually. Huh? I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, the road was curving and I was still going straight and not with the curve until I did it.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I was like, we need to get here. I also just ran through that entire diamond intersection, by the way.
What? Wait,
going to the hotel, there was a diamond intersection right there.
Find out. Oh, like diverging diamond kind of?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, you did it right.
No, I completely ran through it because I just cut.
No, that's dead. I remember. Literally. I'm imagining the layout in my head right now. I remember there's only literally like one way to do it.
No, because we have to turn that way.
Yeah, because we exited the highway because the diamond intersection was here, like here. We came like exiting that way, and the hotel was like right there.
Yeah,
so you just cut through like that. That's legal. No, that's fine. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah. No, that's what you do. Yeah. No, because like it would be a different story if you like just like in the diamond, like the diverging diamond itself, like you stayed on the wrong side. Because like when it switches to left and right. Let me see.
Also, there was a random person following.
Oh yeah, no, this weird ass truck. Yeah, do you want to? Yeah, we want to talk about that.
While I was driving, they kept following us.
Yeah, this on the drive to Charlottesville.
So for a while, they disappeared for like 10, 15 minutes and then popped up out of nowhere.
Yeah, they were just like
us for like
tailgating us.
20, 30 minutes. And
yeah, we were in the right lane. Like they could have. It's not like they were like we were just like going slow and they were trying to pass us. Like they could have passed us at any time, and they were still tailgating us the whole time.
I was staying in the right lane to be safe.
Yeah, like it's not like we were hogging the passing lane. Like it was wide fucking open. It was late at night. Like. I do a night shift job and then I have to drive back home for an hour. Sometimes I forget I'm pressing gas until I'm going like scary fast. I hear about that. Yeah. No, that's what I was afraid of happening too. Like when I was driving back to Atlanta. Thank God it didn't. But once we got near to the end of the Atlanta drive, I was starting to fully fucking lose it. Like that last hour when we were on Interstate 285, like during rush hour, there were some like Hellcats cutting up and shit. I was barely fucking conscious. I was like, I put on some Playboy Cardi, because what was it? I think Rockstar made. He's like riding in a tank going 285. I was like, we're on this song 285. Please play it, keep me fucking awake. I don't want to crash this car. That was the point we were at. But
you passed out immediately.
Not in the hotel.
No, not in the hotel. But in the car.
Because
of a weighted blanket.
Yep, and also I also got like Unisom and like Dyphon whatever the fuck, just like put me to sleep. But that like it was really the weighted blanket. Because I never really used a weighted blanket.
I was having a conversation with you for 10 minutes and you weren't responding. And I turned around and was like, this motherfucker's asleep. I've been talking to myself the entire time.
Oh my god. Oh well, I ain't gonna lie. I was barely conscious before that too, so I don't think I really remember any of that either. Fuck, I was barely conscious when I was driving to Atlanta. I remember just like a few snippets.
You didn't wake up until we were in North Carolina?
Yeah, North Carolina. Idea W16 swap Hyundai Sonata. Great idea. All right, let's go back to the video.
Miata, when it's down, the panel that houses it has a little like bump up, as you can see. The soft top cars didn't have that, but the hard top ones do, I guess, to make sure it fits under the panel, and it looks kind of cool. Almost gives it like a hump vibe, like a Boxster Spider. Not quite that far, but a nice little touch of the NC with the power hard top. Anyway, to put the top back up, as you can imagine,
do you still have the Versa? We are actually, it did not die on me. The opposite. It's been holding up like great, but we're selling it. Hey, you're in the New York area, we're selling it this week. Like I'm not sure we were supposed to sell it today, but they like postponed it or something. I think to like Wednesday. So, hey, if you're in the New York area, you want a Versa, you're willing to offer more than $5K, let me know.
Up arrow button, you push it, and then the top
shit runs well. You want all the details that go into
direction, as you can see, the hard top,
features, and then we're gonna give it a
once it gets to the place where it's over the interior and the windshield, you just latch it back into place manually, and you're right back there in your cocooned PRH.
Versa's literally the least quirky car on the universe. Cars and Bids, he really just like he says like to sell your interesting, weird, quirky, like or cool cars, and Versa is none of of those. It's literally like, what's the car that's least eligible for that? You probably think of the Versa. Even the Mirage has some like novelty to it. So like, I think I might have seen one on it because like Doug reviewed it. But like, there's no novelty to the Versa. It's just shit.
The air comes out a different set of
sure, just bundle in some weed and I got you.
Normal. You have your standard dashboard vents, these little circles here, as you can see.
No, it's actually
if you
serious.
go into open mode, the car will start to use these vents mounted lower near your knees, so they're more effective when the roof is down.
Smart.
Obviously, if air conditioning
no, that's really
is coming
smart
out
with
those
like
upper vents, it's just going to go out into the ether with the
that's
roof
really
down,
fucking smart.
But the lower vents,
especially like that one with like the cover there. So at least like get your torso, which kind of matters at least. Like if you turn that up, then it, like with that cover right there, you'll at least get like some direction.
Kind of a cool idea. Next
the fact that less Doug DeMuro owned it will bring it. Oh, shit! If I wish, I fucking wish.
You have a glove box over on the passenger side of the dashboard. Pretty standard, nothing unusual there. You also have door storage.
Videos give me my homie uncontrollable after. Thanks, Maker. Nice. I love it. Nah, no problem, man.
Small, there wasn't room for real door storage.
I appreciate that, bro. Honestly, thank you, man.
You have this little storage compartment to the left of the steering wheel on the driver's side of the dashboard, where you can stick smaller items if you want. And same deal on the sun visors. You drop them down and you can see little business card storage.
Okay, even my Versa, is that a hard plastic? Is that a hard plastic fucking visor? Even my Versa had just like a regular old sun visor, which had like fabric. It felt just like nice to lower it. It was just like a normal sun visor, had a mirror that you slide over and everything. Regular ass sun visor. I'm surprised the Versa, like the fact that you could cheap out this much. Jesus Christ!
So a clever little integration of two things in one.
Well, where's the mirror?
For even
do you just lift
more
that off?
storage, go to the center console where you have this switch. Press it, and you can slide this whole panel back.
I remember those mirror switches.
Access to a storage compartment in the center console, which is kind of cool. Smart. And there's another one between the seats, between the seat backs.
Oh yeah, no, we use that one. We use that one.
Locking storage compartment. You can see the keyhole lock. Pull on the latch, and it opens up.
We always put like our bags and shit there. Or just like a little
locking one. If
like when we went to VidCon, got some merch.
Beyond just the glove box, which is pretty cool. Also worth pointing out, this storage compartment has a little loop in here that you pull.
Like, or no, when the soft top is up, there's some just like storage like right behind the seats, like where the soft top usually goes. Because like there's just like so we just put our bags there usually.
Next up, also in the center between the seats, is a wind deflector. You can see it here. I guess it's supposed to guide wind over the cabin when the roof is down to keep it out of your face and hair. It's a very simple piece. If you don't want it in place, just fold it down and it goes away. If you want it, just fold it right back up. No power operated situation here. It's just folding plastic. Now in the center, one thing you won't find is cup holders. I showed you that little storage compartment before, but you can't put drinks in there. Instead, there's cup holders on the door panel. You can see right here on the passenger side and over on the driver's side, same deal, a cup holder, a small one and a weird spot
I forgot, because I remember we had cup holders, but I do remember them being kind of inconvenient.
One other item worth mentioning here in the center, the gear selector. Manual transmission, of course.
We didn't have the manual. No, we had the automatic.
Performance model. And
now that was the biggest thing. I was like, we're getting a Miata, but it's an automatic.
That wasn't true of all NC
everybody says if you get a
Miata, you gotta get a manual.
I mean, automatic is still fun. I'm sure manual's more fun, but automatic's still fun. And also like that's just what we wanted for the time. And also LA traffic.
Sportier ones.
That does not seem like fun. And my mom was driving. Like my mom's a great driver. Putting that out there, she's a fucking amazing driver.
There's not really all that much to talk about in this interior.
What was it? She
like the interior of a
Miata, she was driving because it was years before I got my license.
Focus, no extraneous stuff, no.
Like she knows how to drive manual, but it's been like 20 years. And because like we didn't even own a car in the city for a while. We just do like rentals, and all those would be automatic. So like she hasn't driven a manual in like decades. So like we weren't about to make our rents like she didn't want to like have to relearn manual during our vacation.
You don't even have a screen.
Like we want to focus on the vacation, not on relearning manual.
With buttons. The closest you come to a screen is this button in the gauge cluster that says info. You push that and it cycles through a trip odometer, a second trip odometer, the exterior temperature, and
it's strange in the ways in its ways of cost cutting, which is what I find interesting. The verse, on the other hand, is just the very definition of it's a car and it has 4 cylinders. Yeah. No, that's not. That's no, that's facts. No, because the Mirage, like the cheapest model of the Mirage, the rear bench is literally just a flat piece. Like there's no individual support for like each person. Like the right, middle, and left passengers. Just flat.
Just nothing excessive. One thing I like in
there's like barely any support. You live in LA too? Nah, I live in New York. We just rent we did that Miata. We just rented it. We rented it when we were in
mobility system.
Ooh, Mazda lean.
Flat tire.
Sipping that Mazda lean.
But you can patch the tire with the sealant and then get back on the road in an instant.
Yeah, no, when we went to LA, we rented the Miata. But stay tuned to my community tab. I don't know when, but in the near-ish future, I'm going to try to come out to LA because I really want to go to LA at some point, not too long from now. I don't have nothing planned, but when I go there, I'll definitely do some kind of meetup. So yeah.
Of the front fog lights, as you can see, there's a U.S. government regulation that all cars must have a side orange reflector in front and red reflector in back, and this is a very clever place to stick that side front orange reflector. It's a neat touch. Also worth pointing out, this antenna, you don't have a power retractable one, and they don't bury it in the glass like in some cars. This is a cheap but low weight and simple solution, which is in keeping with the ethos of the Miata. Other than that, nothing particularly interesting on the outside except for the styling itself, which, like I mentioned, is quite controversial, especially with that smile. All right, driving the NC Miata Club. Now, people have been asking me to review the NC for a long time, and I'm glad I held off because this is kind of the dream NC. Very final couple model years. The club model is kind of the most desirable one with all of its, upgrades and added benefits, low mileage. Like this is the nicest NC. This is like the dream NC. And of course, the NC gets some hate from the Miata community for its styling, for it being a little bigger. And so if you're gonna drive one, if you're gonna see if the hate is real, you want to drive the best one. So let's talk NC Club.
Exactly, smooth.
First off, everything about this car I still love. As a general rule of the Miata,
I don't really want to buy a Miata, but I don't want to soft top since I don't have a closed garage. I will say, don't let that discourage you. Depending on where you live, I live in New York City, and I see people street park their Miatas all the time. Like, if you want, you can always just put like a car cover, like even just like something to cover the top, like when you park it.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that do that in the city.
Yeah, all the time. Like other soft top convertibles. Honestly, I would not let that discourage you. Like, because like
hard top.
Yeah, because I've never in my life, like I've seen smashed windows plenty of times, but like I never, and I go to the Bronx a lot. And if you know the Bronx, you know the Bronx. I've never in my life seen just like, I mean, maybe like once or twice, but like rarely ever, especially not like a parked car, only in like a body shop or something, have I seen like a slashed soft top. But yeah, wait, did I? I don't think I missed anything. Street park Miata in New York. I'm out. Bro, I saw a double parked Urus.
Oh yeah, that's right.
In Harlem. Yeah, we were like, when we had to squeeze by it, like in the Camry, a double parked Urus. Or Urus, whatever. Urus is smoother to say. I mean, I get that it's incorrect, but Urus, I like Urus more. Let's see. Street park, New York. Yeah, wait, what's some other, oh shit, sorry. Yeah, I mean, by like where, like, it's an area like near our college, where, like, we saw like a E60 M5. There's like an E60 M5, like the V10 model that would park. That would park like all the time near there. And didn't you say like he owns 2 cars?
Yeah, he has 2 cars, and every morning he moves both of them.
What's the other one?
It's another BMW.
Do you know?
I don't remember.
Approximate sedan, SUV.
It's a sedan.
Was it loud?
Yeah, it was a black. It's the black and the gray one.
Oh, okay.
Both of them are his.
I'll take a look next time I'm there. But yeah, no, it's a like a pretty clean E60 M5. And like, what's some other crazy cars upstream? I mean, down in like the meatpacking district, like temporarily, I've seen some pretty crazy cars parked. Like, I mean, I've seen like I think I've seen a Wall Street parked. I think I have seen. Oh no. You know what I have seen? I've seen. I think I've seen a McLaren street parked on Broadway.
See,
maybe even multiple twice. Maybe even twice.
I see a lot of classic cars.
Oh yeah.
The ones that I sent you.
Got it. Yeah. Yeah, and like yeah, I've seen McLaren street parked on Broadway. I was just like, God damn. Like, what if someone sideswipes you, like a biker or something? Yeah, like on Broadway. Like, damn.
Well, that's like saying the worst picture of Noodle.
Exactly.
Still looks great.
Oh, it's Doug's dog.
I don't know. Anyway, the point, that's my dog. The point is, yeah.
Hey, what do you say about Noodle?
The worst picture of the worst as a general. First off, everything about this car I still love as a general rule of the Miata. You know, saying that this is like the worst Miata is laughable. That's like saying the worst picture of Noodle. He still looks great. I don't know. Anyway, the point, that's my dog. The point is,
I feel like
it's a bigger than a regular Miata. It looks not as good as an NA or an NB.
So the worst ones end up just being the most
Miata, and it's got all the stuff that makes a Miata good. Oh, it's bigger. Well, it's 2,600 pounds or 2,800 pounds or whatever. These days, automakers say a car is lightweight if it comes in at 3,400 pounds. This car is still like light and little. And it feels light and little
I was
to
a passenger
drive.
and it felt
You can toss it around just like you toss around any other Miata. It's got that,
I will say
to it, even though
the Camry is like a lot more fun. Like, I mean, well, no, they're both about equally fun to drive in their own ways, the Camry and the Versa. But the Camry's faster. Camry's definitely faster, and it's probably better, more responsive with like handling. But the Versa, it just like way more just like around like going fast around like corners and shit like that, just like throwing it into shit. Like you're able to like use like some of like the body roll and just like the suspension and shit to just kind of like throw it into cuts, throw it into corners, like throwing it around type shit. That's one thing that makes the Versa a lot of fun. So hey, if you are willing to buy, 5K is the starting price.
You know, like side
5K is
airbags
the
and some other
bidding
stuff that
price.
maybe doesn't get you quite as worried. That's one of the things I like about the NC and always have. It's relatively cheap and affordable. It's not as cheap as like an average NA or an NB, but it's not that much more expensive, and it's a lot more of like a legitimate car. It feels like this has a power hardtop and side airbags, and it feels like a more realistic
hardtop
overall
PRHT. That's
car.
2542.
It's been a long time since I've driven a regular NC. I was thinking about it. It's been almost 10 years since I've driven one. So I don't remember how the regular ones drive quite as much. But I will say this club is incredibly fun to throw around. The steering
adding a
has
passenger would add more to that.
especially for a mid-2000s car. I feel
you
like
have
I don't have this level of steering responsiveness from my Ford GT. Now, obviously, this is a much later NC Miata.
And it's a Miata, so you'll definitely have the passenger princess.
But it still has its roots in that era, and the steering feel is fantastic. Obviously, the handling, too, amazing. Like I said, doesn't feel heavy, feels tossable, throw-aroundable. This is a fun little roadster, just like all Miatas are. And anybody who complains about the NC, in my mind, has never really gotten behind the wheel of one and thrown it around, because this car is fun to drive. And then there's the other important Miata stuff. One of the biggest.
Oh my god, I love how look at how it turns. Look at how it U-turns. There's just the way it just like quickly does it. You can see how throwable it is.
Other important Miata stuff. One of the biggest being the shifter.
Oh yeah,
and
you can
clutch
tell just the way it stays planted on just like that quick of a
the
turn.
clutch is perfectly smooth, very easy to figure out instantly when you get behind the wheel of this car.
Okay.
The shifter is wonderfully notchy, goes into gear absolutely perfectly
so
with
maybe
no
to learn
vagueness or play. You can easily
actually,
rev match, you can easily downshift.
What exactly do you say about
this car, the shifter is wonderfully notchy. Easy to figure out instantly when you get behind the wheel of this car.
That's the thing. That's the real thing about like I know how to drive manual,
with no
but just like
or play.
I'm really bad just like figuring it out, like figuring out the clutch, because I always just end up selling out because of the clutch.
It's important because you got to kind of wring the power out of this car in order to get going fast.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
So you are often downshifting and rev matching to get acceleration up, especially in the mid-range, and it does a great job of that. And I love driving it. I love driving a Miata. I know it doesn't have the same feel as the NA. I get that.
You're talking
but
about
if you were to
GTA.
drive this
You're talking about
car
GTA
separate from an NA or NB, you'd say this is a great sports car.
Yeah.
It just so happens that it's a little lesser of a great sports car than an NA or an NB.
No, we're talking about GTA. Now, we're talking about a Assetto Corsa.
There are drawbacks to this car. I want to say it's important to mention a couple of them. Number one, it isn't fast. It's not slow. It's not as slow as I was expecting, but it is not fast. They've never really pursued fast.
I know a guy near my place who has a new Maybach S600, C8 Corvette, GLE 63, and a base model Ford Explorer. What the fuck?
Not incredibly so.
You know what? That seems like bro was just trying to troll people with that Ford. Wait, hold on. Is the Ford Explorer like? Is it like black, white, gray, like kind of like a cop color? Does it kind of look like this, kind of going for that like that cop look? Because if so, my guess is that they have all that, and they're just like one of those guys who like want to buy one that kind of looks like a cop for whatever reason.
They're trying to throw suspicion on.
Who knows? Yeah.
It looks weird. I always have. I think
my parents' neighbor had a 1930 Ford Model A just casually hanging around. That's fucking dope. A black one, cop spec. Yep. Okay. Suspicions are confirmed. Yep.
And yeah, the Wolf's Miata. But again,
that's exactly what I thought.
Not that bad of a thing. Miata in general is such a special car, and this one does a great job doing what the Miata is known for doing. Just maybe I saw you in the replies to a short about Young Thug LMAO. Yeah, no, y'all, if y'all are looking, look in just like random comment sections anywhere, if you don't expect me to be there, I might be there. I'm in random ass shit. Like some shit about drill, some shit about Young Thug, some shit about cars, some shit about just whatever the fuck they recommend me. The NC Miata Club. No, it's not as bare bones, stripped down, lightweight sports car as the original Miata or the NB, and it's not as attractive or as modern as the new ND, but it's still a great car, a great sports car. It is a Miata after all. Anyway, now it's time to give this NC a Doug score.
Making an edit for it.
Yes, in my head.
And the Doug score is here, 52 out of 100, which places the NC Miata Club here against some other cars. It seems relatively mediocre, but really most of the cars on this list are in a different league than the NC Miata. The RX-7 and the RX-8, for instance, and the Honda S2000. In reality, I love the NC Miata, especially for the bargain it provides. It's like the 996 Porsche 911, the unloved version with the slightly odd styling, but it still drives fantastically, and you can get it for a discount. It's a Miata through and through, and the club model is certainly the NC you want.
Daily. There was one video he made. One more I want. I need to go on one of his live streams to like donate. Just like say some shit. Cause now he streams. I just haven't gone on him. He does like live auctions, but if he accepts like a TTS or like just like some kind of donations, definitely just like need to send just like some nice shit. Let's do this.
This is a 2003 Aston Martin DB AR1, and it's a tremendously interesting and special and rare and quirky car. Only 99 of these were made for the entire planet. I've always wanted to review one, and today I'm going to do just that, and I'll show you all of the quirks and features of this special car. Before I get started, big news, this DB AR1 is currently for sale, and it's being auctioned live on Cars and Bids. This is a tremendously special car, only 99 for the entire world, and this one has a manual transmission and, of course, a V12, and a lot of other wonderful quirks I'll show you. So, once you finish watching this video, click the link in the description below to visit the live auction for this DB AR1, where you can bid on it and buy it only on Cars and Bids. All right, time for the quirks and features of the Aston Martin DB AR1. I have always wanted to film a video with this car. So, a little overview. The DB7 was Aston Martin's popular model sold all throughout the 1990s and into the early 2000s. Near the end of production,
The only reason I like Aston Martins is because of 007. That is the only reason I like this car or this company. I don't know.
special versions based on the DB7 were created, both of which were designed by the famous Italian design house Zagato, which had previously worked with Aston Martin on a number of different models spanning back decades in the past. One was called the DB7 Zagato, and it was a coupe model that looked like a DB7 with different, more elegant, more beautiful bodywork. Aston Martin made 99 of these and sold the DB7 Zagato globally. The other special car based on the DB7 was this, the DBAR1. That stood for American Roadster 1 because this car was only sold here in the United States. Once again, only 99 of these were made, but the difference compared to the DB7 Zagato, it wasn't sold around the world, just here in the US. And once again, it had totally different bodywork from a standard DB7. Frankly, I have always found this car absolutely gorgeous. I think the DB7 looked great, but this was a nice special modernization of the car, and it just looked more exotic, more exciting, and kind of tied into some of the Astons that came later, like the Vanquish with this beautiful hip line in back. This was a truly gorgeous and truly special car, and it didn't have a roof. That was one of the things about this car. You see, Aston Martin conceived the DBAR1 as a vehicle that you would drive down the California coast on a sunny day. You didn't need a roof for that activity, and so they didn't provide one. This car was an open-top roadster with no roof that could be stuck on while you were driving. And that's probably why it was limited to the United States. Aston really thought of this car as something you would use in a warm weather climate on sunny days, not necessarily the kind of thing you'd expect to find in England, and so the AR1 was limited to the American market. Now, in addition to this car's extreme rarity with only 99 units made and its unusual roofless situation, it was also pricey, around $250,000 back when it was new. And remember, that was 20 years ago. It's big money today, but it was especially big money back then. But you were buying a very special car. So let's talk through this car's interesting quirks and features, starting with the most glaringly obvious, the fact that it has no roof. Aha! But it does. But it's not a roof that you can actually use while the car is driving. Allow me to explain. To do that, I have to get into the trunk, and accessing the trunk of this car is tremendously
Doug
cool.
has
To
watched my
get
videos
here,
actually, because he said something on Reddit saying they were
Aston
funny.
Martin badge in back, as you can see, and then
Have
you
to call it a night.
insert the
All right,
key
take care.
into
Thanks for
the
joining.
keyhole behind the Aston Martin logo, and then
2
you
seconds,
twist it, and you can
30
open
as
the
it
trunk.
didn't
When
skip
you're done,
any. I
you put the
appreciate it.
Aston badge back, and there's this perfect magnetic action that just keeps it in place. Of course, you can also just press the trunk button on the key fob or inside the car. But anyway.
Sorry, y'all. Just give me 1 second.
And inside the bag is what Aston Martin called the parking top. And here's how it worked. You drove this car somewhere and maybe you were worried it might rain. You didn't want to damage your interior, and so this top could attach to the car using suction cups. And then when the car was parked, water wouldn't get inside. Now, obviously, with a suction-cupped roof, you couldn't drive anywhere. It wasn't built to go
looks kind of funny.
But if you were displaying this
Do
car
not drive
on the
with cover
lawn
fitted.
at Pebble
Imagine.
Beach, and there was a nice
they
mist
designed
in
this
the
car to
air,
have no
you would
top
put on your
whatsoever.
parking top
It's like-
so your interior
Because
didn't
they
get
expect
wet.
you to drive
And
this car on
Aston
the
thought
sunny
of
day
more
in
than just
California.
that. This car
Right,
also
okay.
comes
The
with
European mind
individual
cannot
seat
comprehend what
covers
US
for
truly
the
is.
two
Yeah.
seats. And
Well, I mean,
they
they
are
probably sell it in
labeled
Europe. That's the thing.
No, it was
BBAR1.
mainly
These
sold in
aren't
the
just
US.
generic,
Huh.
regular plebeian seat covers. They are specific
'Cause in
to
the
this
UK,
very special
it
car.
rains.
As you can imagine, this
Right,
vacuum
right.
seat
Car
covers
with no
are
Maybe like
really
rain,
desirable
yeah.
items
South
for
of France, though,
DBAR1
maybe?
since they
Spain?
correspond to the car, and they're not just regular Aston Martin
Monaco?
items.
Emery,
The
hey,
other
yo, what's good,
interesting thing
Habibi?
to note back here is this car comes with two umbrellas, as you can see. Most Aston Martins do
This car was
come
US
with an
only.
umbrella,
Oh,
but typically it's only one. It's kind of
2 umbrellas.
that the car with no roof that was made for sunny days comes
yeah,
with
imagine.
2 umbrellas. But
I saw someone biking with an umbrella up once.
People would want to put up the umbrellas.
We saw twice actually. Once where there was a shoulder, but once where there was no shoulder on like a parkway. If y'all know New York parkways, y'all know they're like really narrow. The Sawmill Parkway going north. We saw some guy like at night. Some guy dressed in all black, no headlights, nothing. I was in the right lane. Saw this guy biking, going the opposite direction, like on the far right side, and I was on the right lane. I just had to move over enough.
Both of us.
That happened to you separately too?
No, when we were driving as well. When I was driving, and we saw that dude, and I went like that.
Oh yeah, no, I think that was the time I was talking about, because there was another time that happened to me. I think like same highway, just a bit farther back.
But I wasn't with you.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think it was a bit farther back, so I had more room. But I was like, what the fuck?
We didn't have any room because that was that truck next to us.
Oh, like a pickup?
Or that SUV.
Yeah.
That huge SUV next to us, and I couldn't really do much.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we had to do it. We just had to move over a little bit, and the lanes are kind of narrow too, so it's like can only do so much.
No, I'm just kidding. No one would ever do that.
Fuck, bro, was expecting.
But I suppose you could. The other thing worth noting back here, this trunk is.
I haven't seen you with hair in so long. Yeah, no, honestly, because around when I started like blowing up on YouTube and shit, like I shaved my head.
You got a decent amount of storage space where you can put stuff if you want to take your DB-AR1 on a memorable road trip.
Just
don't go anywhere rainy. By the way, one other interesting item in the trunk, there's a little nook specifically carved out for the owner's manual. You can see it perfectly fits the size and shape of the owner's manual, and when you take the owner's manual out to look at it, you will notice that even that is individually numbered to correspond to the precise car that this one is. Not just a generic general owner's manual for the DB-AR1. You get an owner's manual.
Yeah, they really just made it a fucking binder. I mean, I worked at a print shop. I could make a real book my damn self.
Let's talk about the bodywork of this car, which,
like I said earlier, I truly believe
is gorgeous.
Soft cover book. They can make that there.
Special compared to the DB7.
It's just a machine
really
that pretty much like makes
that much like a DB7. It was a totally distinct, special car. Every body panel was different and changed and really absolutely gorgeous. Completely reworked by Zagato. Again, had a pretty strong relationship with Aston Martin going back years and continuing with this car. And in fact, continuing today, because fairly recent Aston Martin models have also offered Zagato-based special editions. This car was just one in the history. Now, as far as the body panels on this car, they're all custom for the AR1, but unquestionably the coolest piece is this one.
Front grill just looks bloated.
It is one
I love how the rear end
panel
looks,
that basically covers both rear fenders.
Looks Ferrari
goes the entire way across the rear
especially
of the
with
car
like
and down the center of the seats. It's one huge piece and very distinctive.
Wait, I like how there's leather cushions even there and there. There's never usually like leather cushion. I think it's really just because there's actually no roof.
Yeah,
because if that makes
sense. Thing. They have to
also have these
or use that space for something else.
Exactly, and if they can like just like put real leather there, then
2 rear humps that come back from behind the seats and sort of taper off towards the rear of the car, which gives it a very distinctive and very exotic look
when you get
compared to the standard DB7.
Convertible.
Now, another major change compared to the DB7 came around back with the lighting. The DB7's rear lights were pretty inelegant, actually. They were basically just horizontal boxes. They weren't really all that special. But in the DB-AR1, as you can see, they're totally different. You have circles back here for the taillights, brake lights,
the other one, I would never be able to spot that in it. Like if I just saw the rear end, I would just like, and I didn't see the Aston Martin logo, didn't see didn't see like all that shit. I just think, oh, just an old car. Cool convertible
boxes. Nice. They weren't really all that special.
That's it.
But in the DB-AR1,
as
you
can see something like this,
they're just
like,
oh, you have circles back here for the taillights, brake lights, and turn signals with some cool and distinctive rivets going around the circles and
Zagato's design is
keeping these lights in place. This also displays the reverse lights from their typical spot, and so they're placed down here at the base of the bumper in the center, which is also
a give me this vibe.
Ferrari has like the big ones and the small.
Yeah, like.
Oh.
Yeah, like these. Or like or more like the LaFerrari taillights are. I love the LaFerrari taillights though. Yeah, like this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like, or like this. Yeah, you can really tell like that. And I mean, well, hold on. I just realized y'all aren't seeing it, but y'all know what Ferrari taillights look like, right? I just realized y'all weren't seeing that. My fault.
Distinctive look for this car compared to the standard DB7. Now, around back,
if he wasn't here, y'all would not be seeing the rest of the video.
Shared with the DB7, and that was the big old dual exhaust with one pipe mounted on
Rubber
each
lights
side
should have been
the
standard.
back
They
of
look
the
so
car.
good. Yeah,
There's a
honestly.
V12 under the hood here.
I feel like same thing with the new
Zagato
Zagato like Vantage models. Those are fucking incredible. Like the taillights and like the headlights. I feel like there's some of those features should just been standard. Oh. Pretty good.
Now, as
Pretty
far
good.
as
Nothing
exterior
crazy, but
quirks
good.
go, another interesting one was the fuel door. This is also similar to the DB7s,
Oh, yeah.
but you can see
I love
it's
these quirky
mounted
fuel
right
doors.
here,
Imagine
sort
bringing
of
them to New
placed
Jersey.
horizontally on the bodywork.
Because if y'all don't,
Unusual
if y'all don't
for a
know, in
lot
New
of
Jersey you
cars,
can't
although
fill your
several
own gas.
British cars from this
But imagine
era
like
had a
bringing like a
similar
911 or a
placement. The funny
718,
thing
like
is
where you have
the
to fill in the
little
front.
tiny cutout for your
You're just like
finger.
they start to go to
In
the
order
back, just
to
like
open
nope,
it up,
it's
you'd
in the
stick
front.
your finger in the hole and then lift it, and then you had access to your
Wait, what did you
gas
just what'd you just say,
Stick
Doug?
your finger in the hole, you cut out for your finger. In order to open it up, you'd stick your finger in the hole, and you had access to your gas finger. In order to open it up, you'd stick your finger in the hole. To open it up, you'd stick your finger in the hole, and then
Hold up, ring, ding, 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 ding. Just need to get a few screenshots just so I can save it for future YouTube poop. This is how I do it. I literally just find, this is how I do it nowadays, at least. I mean, not nowadays, I made a video in a minute, but like
taking multiple screenshots.
No, that's how I do it, because otherwise I'm not gonna find it.
Oh.
Because then I see a bunch of the same screenshot grouped together, and I'm just like, oh, okay.
lift, and
There's
then
a lot
you
of
had
space, so
access
it's like,
to
and also
your
I can delete it
gas
later.
cap to fill it up with fuel. As far as other distinctive items on the outside of this car, beyond just its design, for one, you got the Z logo on the side. This, of course,
like
stood
a
for
Nissan Z.
Zagato. They placed
Low-key,
this logo
the Z looks
on
similar, I
virtually
ain't gonna
every
lie.
car they designed.
Just
It
minus
was
the circle.
a distinctive element of Zagato design cars.
I feel like if
Worth pointing
Nissan
out,
didn't have the
this car
circle
does
around the
not
Z,
say
they would make one. They would
DBAR1
put a
on the
circle around it.
outside,
I'm
or
not gonna lie.
American Roadster
Z,
1
but
or anything like that.
yeah,
It
I
didn't
don't know.
tell you what
I'm
it
just trying to-
was. You just had to know. But the Zagato badge gave you a clue it was something special. The wheels are also distinctive to this car, different from what you got
can't
in
fill
the
your own gas,
DB7,
not in
which is
Jersey.
more modernized and,
It's
in
legally.
my opinion, more attractive. They perfectly fit with the body lines of this
New Jersey does
car.
not
And
have
then
self-serve
you have the
gas
front
stations.
end
Nope.
design.
It's
The
literally
grille
illegal.
in the DBAR1 was quite large compared to the standard grille in the DB7, which you can see here. The
Like at first I didn't like it,
grille's
but
actually
then
more similar
once I
to
got
later
once I started getting
Aston
used to
Martin
it, like
models. The
adjusted to it,
grills
shit's
grew
great.
over
Because also you
time,
don't have
as they
to,
did with a lot of
because you don't have to
automakers.
worry about like also let's say like you're prepaying or something. You don't have to like go into the gas station and be like, hey, can I get $10 on pump 10 and all that. Like you can just say, hey, can I get $10 a regular or whatever the fuck. They charge $10. You get your regular, that's it, and they just fill it up. You can just stay in your car, and it's so great. Like when it's raining or when it's like just like winter, or you're
Like
just
you
kind
can
of
still
tired.
get out of the car and go inside and get like snacks and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
But your
Like
gas is gonna get pumped.
exactly, and just like at first it might seem like, oh, I want to pump my own gas. That's how I felt. That's how I felt for a while. But then I was like, you know what? This ain't bad. Especially with like when like during the winter, you get really, really grateful for it. You will get real because you can just stay in your car while someone else pumps your gas. It's pretty nice. But yeah, that's my take on it.
And the AR1 was sort of a link to the next generation of Aston Martin
Skip.
Sun. And next we move inside the DBAR1 to go over the interior quirks and features. Let's start with the key, which you can see here. Fairly standard for
After the
Aston
interior
models of
quirks,
this
you wanna
era.
maybe sign
Jaguar
off?
used a similar
Yeah,
key,
I did.
but it's kind of cool. The key shaft is like
So once this-
circular, like cylindrical,
once this
as opposed to
is-
flat
this
like in
section's over.
basically every other
Until it's
car. It's
steady.
kind of a
Yeah.
neat little special quirk
The
of
shaft is
Astons
circular.
from this time period. But you open up the door, and the first thing you see is a
truck passing
plaque
in the
on the
background.
driver's door sill that specifically announces exactly which car number this one is. Not just a generic plaque congratulating you on your
I think a lot
DBAR1,
of
but it
special edition
specifically
type
gives
cars
this
have that.
car's chassis
What,
number
like
out of the
plates?
99
plaque.
unit production run.
Like, let's say,
Now,
like, which-
aside from
specifically
that
which one.
plaque, the interior of this car shares a lot
AR1
of
is a
similarities with
hard-ass
the
name.
interior of the DB7 from this era. Far, far more than the exterior, which is of course completely reworked and totally different. But similar to the DB7 just means very quirky. And so let's go through some of the interesting items now. We start with the glove box, and specifically the fact that there isn't one. This car came out before airbag regulations swept the globe, and Aston didn't design it to have an airbag over on the glove box side of the dashboard. So out went the glove box when the airbag regulations showed up, and in went an airbag. But they did give you a glove box. It was just the center console, which gained a lock that you could lock and unlock, just like
just
a
a
glove
locking
box.
center
Simply
console.
a different placement, but definitely quirky.
Works,
Another interesting quirk of this car is that
the
the
Versa
warning
didn't have a
lights
center
are
console, it just had a glove box.
actually
It's just the other way
integrated
around.
into the gauge cluster. You can see the gauge cluster here, very beautiful, very 90s, early 2000s Aston Martin, looks cool, but the warning lights are on this panel that's directly above the gauge cluster. They're kept separate, which is certainly odd to see, but that's how they did it. Next, we move on to the engine start button, which you can see here is bright red. This car came from an era in the late 90s and early 2000s when engine start buttons were all the rage. The Honda S2000, the Ford GT, this car, many other performance cars had a button you would push, but they didn't have proximity keys that knew when you were inside the car. So you first had to put the key in and twist it and then press engine start. It actually added a step, but it also added coolness.
That's
and
fucking
that's what
pointless.
people wanted back in the day. And next up, there's another interesting quirk of this interior.
Why not?
The steering
You're already
wheel, the
doing
steering
that.
column is tilting
Why not
and
just
telescoping,
go
so you
all the
can move
way?
up and down and backwards
like
and
it's one or the
forward.
other, I don't
Strangely
know.
enough,
I mean, I guess
there
it
were
didn't have
different
proximity
levers
keys, but-
for these operations. In every other car, one lever, you then can move it up, down, back, forward. Here, you had to choose which one you wanted to do,
what's the other
and then
Wait, what did you say the
different
other one was for?
levers for these operations. In every other car, one lever, you then can move it up, down, back, forward. Here, you had to choose which one you wanted to do and then select that lever accordingly. And
anything that actually makes
another
more sense, I'd actually
unusual
kind of prefer
component
that,
of the
because then you
steering
can just
column is it is
precise.
labeled
Like, if you only
with
need
the
to adjust one
side
of them,
that the turn
you don't have
signal
to, like, you might
stock
not,
and
you
the
might, like, kind of
windshield
fuck up the
wiper
other one.
stock
Yeah,
are
because
mounted
modern-
on. Now,
most
the stocks
modern ones,
themselves
like,
are also
you click
labeled.
it
So
and
you
it
had the
goes
turn
up,
signal
down,
icon on the
pull
signal
out.
stock
Instead of
and on the steering
having
column.
different
Then you
modes
had the
where you're like,
windshield
oh, I
wiper
just need to-
label on the
Exactly,
steering
exactly.
column
Like,
and
that's what the
on the
Camry
wiper
does.
stock.
Yeah,
It was
you can,
very
like,
odd to stick those
I just
labels
yanked
there,
that shit
but
out
for
your ear.
some reason they
Sorry.
decided
You
to
can,
do
like,
that.
adjust
And
it to a
another
point where it's, like,
interesting
even,
decision in
it's
this
perfect.
car,
Yeah. But I
the
think it
climate
could be
like little
vents
step
on the
by step.
sides
Exactly.
of the
I guess it'd probably be
interior
easier to
are
do that,
mounted
though,
on
like,
the
if you
doors
have, like,
themselves, not just on the
individual
side of the
ones.
dashboard, but actually on the doors. And when you open up the
I mean, you
doors,
do
you
the
can
same thing with,
see
like,
the
electronic.
climate vent opens with them. Now,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
not
I've seen
all
a
that
lot of cars
unusual. A
do
few
that.
cars have done that, but the weird thing here is there's a switch at the top of the climate vents that allows you to direct the airflow on the doors. You can choose if you wanted to come out the vent, or if you move the switch to this position, the airflow will change to come out of this vent and instead
kinda cool.
defog your interior
Oh,
windows,
shit.
which is a pretty cool
That
idea.
actually is pretty cool.
Except for the fact that this car didn't have a roof. So those windows would probably never get
Well,
fogged
well,
up.
okay.
Definitely
There's no
doesn't
reason
carry
for
There's
over
no
to
fucking
DB7,
windows.
but it's
There
still
aren't
an
windows.
interesting
There's
piece
no
of
roof.
design that probably actually worked
Okay.
pretty
There's
well
windows, but
in
there's
a
no
car
roof.
with
Right.
a roof.
Right, but nobody put the
And
windows
here's
up if there's
another
no roof.
interesting quirk in this
So,
interior.
like,
You look at the
yeah.
dome
Maybe
light
one
and
for, like,
reading
wind,
light
but,
controls up here, and you have a few
Like, it wouldn't
switches
defog if there's no
on
fucking
and
roof.
off, as you can see for the reading lights, and the dome
Oh my
light
God.
on and off. And then there's one control marked 12 seconds, which isn't a
12
typical
seconds.
control that you would see
What
in
the
a dome
fuck?
light switch panel. It's
Like, is
usually
that like a
on,
timer?
off, maybe door, but this one says 12 seconds. And I guess the
What?
thinking is you
Why
would switch it to
12?
12 seconds and it would stay on for about 12 seconds
Why
after you
12?
parked and turned off the
Why-
car,
why not
just to give
10,
you some extra
15?
lighting while you were getting your things.
Why
But
12?
it's certainly an unusual light. Also unusual in this
12.
interior, although common on exotic cars from this era, is the parking brake, which is mounted
Oh, yeah, I've seen ones like
between the
this.
door sill
Yeah.
and the driver's
That's fairly
seat.
common.
And the operation is
Yeah, watch this.
unusual. To turn on the parking brake, you would pull it up just like in a normal car, but then it would block your pathway to get out of the car because it's right next to the seat. So you could push it down, but it's still on. But down. It's kind of odd to see the parking brake down, but it is working and on. Then, when you wanted to turn it off, you would pick it up like a normal parking brake, push the button in, and then push it back down.
Yeah, I see how that works.
So looking at it, you couldn't really
identify
whether
like push it down and up with like no force.
but
There's
it did make it easier to get in and out of the car. And next up, another interesting quirk of the interior of this
car. I really like the Camry's
stereo,
like foot brake, not a handbrake. It
as
has
you
a
can
foot
see,
brake. Fucking
not
love that shit.
particularly interesting unless you know exotic cars from this era, because you've seen this before. It was used in a lot of different exotic cars from this era. In fact, Ferrari used this very same stereo head unit and branded it as Ferrari, just like Aston Martin
the next section.
has branded it Aston Martin. Now,
should probably head off for the night. Yeah, let me just read chat, see if there's anything else here. Jersey, yeah. Aston Lagonda Rapide, I have seen that, yeah. Actually, in Ontario, especially winter, like the window thing. Yeah, no, I wish I had that, like, just like a regular car that has a fucking roof. But yeah. Yeah, I think we're gonna head off for the night. Thank you all for joining. This has been a lot of fun.
Good night.
I'll take care and peace. No problem, Sam. Yeah, we'll see you on the next stream. We'll try and be back soon. I'ma catch y'all.